what have we lost?
That is where the question started.
Exactly.
What have we lost?
What have we lost? And that is when the seed probably of who we are. For me, it was a question arose. We draw earth like this, we draw fire like this, we draw air this way, water this way. What's for ether?
You proposed to the IKS division saying that we're going to recreate Sharda Peeth. That must have been a calling, Ajit.
See, Sharda Peeth is a university that predates Nalanda and Takshashila.
And Takshashila, yes.
Okay. That was where the cream of the world wanted to get in.
You're actually telling me that we can visit the Sharda Peeth virtually today?
Absolutely. If we don't uncover these secrets, we will continue to talk about it. And that, for me, is a disservice to our ancestry.
It's criminal to our future generation if we don't do anything about it.
Absolutely. And we've had people remove their shoes. They know it's animation. They know they're in a virtual world, but nothing stops them from doing this.
You're saying this is coded into us?
Yeah, so we went to Dholavira. We shot Dholavira. So we used 3D scanners, Shashank. So these are LiDAR 3D scanners.
Okay.
And we fit them on drones or we use them terrestrially. Now, the deal was for us to create the entire 7 stages of the civilization.
Okay, so you're time traveling there. That's your...
Time traveling there, right? So we created a map first.
So when you mean time travel, you're actually taking people to the glory days of the sites.
Correct. Time travel will be a rock show kind of a thing in those environments, right? I mean, people want to feel as though they are walking with Sri Ram or with Hanuman. Or Kali-yuga is driven by wealth. Indian knowledge systems, traditional researches systems don't pay. So basically, see, we are witnessing what our ancestors witnessed thousands of years ago. So when you are witnesses something like this and you know the aftermath of it from your own experience, if you do not course correct now, then history will repeat itself. It is bound to repeat itself.
Hi viewers, there's another episode today. This one for me is very close to heart, very, very close to my heart. It has been 27 years since I've met my old friend, and it's going to be on this podcast right now. He's the guest, Ajit Padmanabh. This is going to be two buddies catching up after 27 years, talking about the past, the present, and definitely the future. And it is so fantastic that he embodies all three and he works with all three. And it's going to be enmeshed like crazy because he is the founder of WhoVR. Now, WhoVR is heralding a new field of technology, a new field of innovation. He's pioneered it through WhoVR. And WhoVR is recreating our heritage in the VR, AR world so that it can be felt, seen, experienced by us. Now, nostalgia, I'm meeting my old friend. Present, we are doing it on a podcast. I think this podcast was meant to be, and I hope you guys are going to see it. So, welcome to this conversation in Bangalore. And I think such conversations can happen only in Bangalore. Welcome, gentlemen, ladies. Meet my buddy Ajit Padmanabh of WhoVR. Hey, Ajit.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Great to be here, Shashank.
Oh my God, it's 27 years, Ajit, is 3 years shy of 3 decades.
3 decades. I mean, it just goes to show you how far we have come down the line.
Yeah.
And how far we have traveled in time. But yet, how close we are to each other that we have just hit off from where we stopped.
Exactly. I mean, I think adolescent friends we can call because we met at 16 and parted at 17.
18 or 17, 18.
15, 16 we caught up, parted at 17, 18.
Yeah.
So for the audience who doesn't know, we were in St. Joseph's PU college together. And if I may embarrass you a little,
Go ahead, be my guest.
We knew you as headbanger Ajit because there were, I think, 3 Ajits in class and we had to differentiate. So you became the headbanger. But of course, you were into headbanging music back then, full on. So another friend of ours, Agasti, as we both know, Agasti actually insisted that this podcast happens. I think he's done with the same on your end as well.
Yes. So he kind of contacted me and he said, Ajit, why don't you look this up and why don't you, contact him and get this thing done? And I was excited, man. I saw the quality of the podcast that you've done. Phenomenal.
Thanks, Ajit. So buddy, what really hooked me on, I think I've told you this before, and when Agasti said, Macha, he's recreated Sharda Peeth. That is when it hooked me on. So let's not just dive into Sharda Peeth right now.
Right.
Just tell me, what was the idea with WhoVR, or just introduce WhoVR to the audience and we'll take it from there.
Oh, excellent, man. So WhoVR, as the name suggests, it's an instrument to find out who we are, where we come from. And, history has been not dealt with in a very positive way, at least here.
Or at least in a truthful way.
At least in a truthful way, let's say. And my endeavor was to look at treating history with the respect that it deserves and treating our ancestors with the benevolence that they deserve.
My God.
In the sense that, when we look at our ancestry and we get all these WhatsApp forwards saying, this university was created in 7th century, here the mathematics, Pythagoras came much later, Bodhayana was there earlier, Abhinav Gupta from Kashmir, and, Aryabhatta was doing all of this. And we don't read this in our history, right? We read this in our social platforms.
Correct.
Right? So that for me is the biggest travesty that any Indian can perform on his ancestry.
On themselves, on their future as well.
Absolutely. So, the guy who doesn't know his history is condemned to repeat it.
Oh, yes.
Right? So, with that thought in mind, I just started framing the concept. I was still in the corporate. So, so after parting ways from our St. Joseph's times, I went into engineering. And
RV College.
RV College of Engineering. I finished it in 4 years, miracle. And then, I joined Infosys. There was a brief stint where I was applying for masters in the US also, where, I was looking at AI and robotics. This was 2002.
Wait, you were looking at AI and robotics back then?
Back then.
My goodness.
Because I knew it was a lovely, lovely field to be in. So that was the aspiration, but then tragedy struck at home. My dad passed away a little too early, so I lost him just after my engineering.
Oh my goodness, sorry about that.
And I had to kind of roll back all those options and then move into job search. That's when I joined Infosys. And with Infosys, I spent around 18 years.
So you're a true Bangalore boy.
Bangalore boy.
Who went through engineering.
Absolutely.
Infosys and 18 years in Infosys.
So let me take a step back. Science. Computer science,
yes.
Engineering, and then Infosys.
Oh, yes. Just for the audience to know, we both were in computer science PUC, St. Joseph's, 1998 batch.
Right. So after that, while at Infosys, I was into technology. I was into, starting from mainframes to Java and all of that.
Okay.
And towards the end of my career, I was dabbling with AI, metaverse. We were part of a very small team where I was leading a proof of concept prototyping on AI chatbots.
And which year was this?
This was 2016.
2016, you guys in Infosys were working
on AI.
Wow.
And we were trying to create something what they call as agentic AI today.
Okay.
And we were far too ahead. We didn't have the wherewithal to make it happen that time.
But did you have the hardware at all back then? Or
we had the hardware.
You had the hardware?
We had the hardware.
Okay.
And we were anyway working on GPT-1.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this was those times. Oracle had got their own chatbot, and Watson was there with IBM. They were our competitors, that kind of stuff. So I did that, and while doing that, I realized that this metaverse thing is picking up big time. I was asked to review a book by a gentleman in US, and this was a book on metaverse, on how VR, AR, AI, blockchain, everything can come together to create this virtual world. And I was like enamored, man. I was mesmerized by the possibilities.
If I can imagine, it would have been like a kid in a candy store.
Absolutely. Kid in a candy store. And remember, I had just released my music album in 2016.
Yeah, I want to get to that, but you had also released your music album at that point of time. That was your first one, right?
True. True. So during that time, I was just looking at how do I perform these songs live, because these are instrumental pieces and they are rather eclectic pieces of instrumentation. Where I was looking at a symphony or something like that, or have a heritage backdrop. That kida within me of putting heritage into the music part. I think it was subconscious. All right.
Okay.
So when I connected these dots, that seeded what is today who we are.
Okay.
The aspiration of me performing against a heritage backdrop and therefore 3D modeling that heritage backdrop, that seeded who we are. And then we expanded the scope. Why aren't we just talking about music? Why can't we do the entire history telling? Right?
Wow.
And with my team, when I was chatting up one evening, like a conversation, a multi-hour conversation that we used to have back those days, I said, how do we tell our people about their history when we don't know who we are? And that's when the name struck.
That's how the name struck?
That's how the name struck. So those guys said, sir, please trademark this. I said, okay, boss, we will get it done. So that's how the name struck. And that's how it has been, man. I'm a fan of epiphanies. I'm a fan of intuitive loads, sounds, whatever comes my way.
I think that's half the reason why you are the way you are, because like I said, we just remembered you as headbanger. Maybe something got rearranged in all those headbanging sessions, because when Agassi told me that he's reviving our heritage, he started a new field of technology called Heritech. I was like, okay. And then when he told me Sharda Peeth has been reconstructed, then it all clicked to me. Then I was like, I couldn't place what I'm hearing about Ajit with my visual image of headbanger Ajit.
Right.
I'm like, I couldn't connect. So just tell me, how did that happen? So I knew you were interested in history when none of us were, which is why we gave it up and got into science. So that fascination of history has always been with you, even with the stupid curriculum we were force-fed?
Absolutely. Okay. And the naive kids that we were back then. See, we didn't have internet. We didn't have any exposure to anything outside of the textbooks back then. All right. Of course, some of us could afford encyclopedias and all that, but
that was also history of the same feather,
orientation. Right? So the way I saw history, I remember this incident when I was just browsing through my history textbook. This was 7th standard, I guess. And my dad came over to the living room and he checked out the textbook. He said, Ajit, they don't talk about the Mughals. I said, no, there are chapters on Mughals. No, he said, no, I mean the atrocities performed by Mughals. Atrocities, they're great architects, their beauty is, I told him that.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
That's all.
So that is when I realized that these guys, our parents, had studied a different history.
Yeah.
Let's say the unadulterated history, right? And we were passed down a filtered history. Very, very
colored. You're being very
manicured history.
No, I will say purposefully colored history.
Perfect. Be that as it may. So that's when it first struck me that, okay, there is a possibility that things can be diluted. And, we were 12 or 13 that time. So one thing led to the other. I got into music quite late. I got into music at around 18.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I was 16 or 7, when we were meeting, I was just listening to music that time. Just about dabbling with the guitar.
Okay.
Not knowing what to do with it.
But I have seen you with the guitar running around quite a few times.
Yeah. So I would dabble. Right. Seriously, I took the guitars when I finished my PU.
In RV?
When I finished my PU in Joseph's. And we had a gap between PU and engineering and PU, the CET time.
No, we were the first batch of VTU.
Correct.
And that's why.
Proudly so.
Proudly so, yeah.
Right?
First batch of VTU, and we had to wait for the BU students to vacate.
So there was a 6 to 8 months time, correct, right? So, and naturally it struck me that, okay, let me pick the guitar and let's see what I can do with it. So we used to have Walkmans back then.
I remember, yeah.
Right? Cassettes. No Google, no YouTube that time.
Yeah.
So I would play the guitar, I would record it on a Walkman, play it back to me, understand the mistakes, practice, play it, record it back and improve.
Oh, that's self-taught.
Self-taught.
Fantastic.
So 6 to 8 hours a day, 8 months.
Man, you made better use of that time than I ever did.
Non-stop. So, no, I think it taught me a lot of things which I deal with even today. One is hyper-focus and the flow, and the idea that once you commit to something, do it.
Okay.
Don't leave it halfway. Don't
half-ass anything.
Don't half-bake the thing, right? So while I was with music, I was also in history, but I loved science equally well.
Of course.
So as you said, typical Bangalorean, went through the engineering. And none of these choices are conscious choices.
Yeah, they all happened.
Okay. And in engineering, I still stuck on to music. I performed with the band there.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of music there. And all heavy metal stuff. So, Metallica, Maiden, Megadeth, all headbanging stuff, right? My favorites even today. So I think what was happening inside of me, if I look at it philosophically, is the right and the left were mingling.
Okay.
The creative and the scientific were mingling. The rational and the irrational, if I can use that word, they were mingling inside of me.
Or super rational.
I was able to hold both. Right? So that, I think, it's been a blessing, it's been a gift.
So musically, to say, just like Sting, your left brain and right brain start connecting with each other.
Correct. I think that's what happened. And music does that to a lot of people, I believe. Right? So slowly, when I started diving deep into music and realized that, Indian classical music has ragas and...
Wait, so you didn't have a classical music background till there? You started with your guitar?
That's it. So no, I mean, absolutely no background, no teaching.
So you directly went to rock?
Went to rock, metal on my own, learned the chords on my own. How would I learn the chords? I would see the other guitarists perform their finger movements.
Visually?
Visually.
Wow.
Right? And as a kid, I was a huge Jackson fan. So I used to dance like him. 8-year-old, 7-year-old. I mean, our generation, man, 80s.
Everybody. That's all we grew up on.
That's how we grew up on. Moonwalk and stuff like that. So again, visually, I learned it. Right? Kannada, the language, I've learned it visually because the school that I went to never taught Kannada.
Yeah. NPS. Yeah. You were in CBSE, right?
Yeah.
So you had just English and Hindi.
And I took Sanskrit as the third language. So Sanskrit also. It was always there. School ways, right? So I think all of these have come together in making me a channel for the world to see who they are.
Wow. I mean, that's deeply introspective, Ajit. Extremely introspective. I mean, the journey, a lot of us live a journey, but we don't look back. So tell me, while you were still interested in history, and I think by the time we were in engineering, all this Yahoo and the web pages started coming, blogs started appearing.
Yes.
So that is when I started reading history again, because it made sense to me then. Because the 6 chapters on Mughals, hardly anything on the Vijayanagara Empire.
No, a paragraph on the Wadayas.
Yeah.
Probably 3 paragraphs on the Vijayanagara. Yeah. I clearly remember,
So I was like, it really didn't make sense to me. So I thought of it as like, okay, I got to mug this up. I got to say, when was the Battle of Mysore? 1, 2. When was the Battle of Plassey?
Plassey. I was thinking of Plassey when you go to say that. And this has got telepathy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shucks.
When was the Battle of Plassey?
Yeah.
All that, I just mugged it up, got over with it. And I still remember when I finished my 10th standard exams, the first thing I said was, thank goodness no more history. Thank goodness no more history. And I still remember it was a biology exam in the last. So when I finished my biology exam, that was the last 10th standard exam. I said, fine.
Done.
No more history. I didn't have a problem with any other subject. No more history. That is how bad it was.
I know.
So I got back to history through the internet.
Super.
So when I started reading, and there used to be this obscure blog spots, and there's no WhatsApp that time, nothing.
Correct.
Somebody would tell, hey, Shashank, you might like to read this. So then go to Cafe Coffee Day or one of those places where every 30 minutes you have to pay for this thing.
Right.
So That's how I got reintroduced to history. But you were reading on your own back then?
Yeah. I was constantly into reading and stuff. See, by age 13, I had learned a bit of palmistry on my own.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I was curious, what does the future hold? I mean, how
where
do
would
these
you get
sciences
hold of
work?
palmistry books then?
It was always there, man.
Okay.
It's all around Gandhi Bazaar and those kind of places. So, one of those books. Didn't plan it.
Correct.
I saw a book, picked it up. Happenstance. So, by age 17, 18, I was into deep reading of philosophy and stuff like that. Okay. So, I think history was happening naturally, philosophy. So, I was able to put things in perspective, blah, 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 right? While science and engineering happened.
Oh, that had to happen. You're a Bangalore boy.
Yeah. Science and engineering had to happen. And somehow down the line, I realized now that I didn't like studying history in school because of the pressures that it comes with. See, your questions in school were like, describe the Battle of Plassey. What the hell do I describe it? I was not part of it.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? And it's a one-page answer. You have to
really dig deep into it.
You have to write 5 paragraphs or repeat 5 paragraphs at once.
Yeah.
Right? So the thing is, I knew dates was in dynasties.
Same here, yeah.
I knew dates was in dynasties, but that's not history. To me, as I grew older, I realized that history is all about your ancestry. And for me, it started immediately with my family. So I set up with my uncle and I went about the entire family tree for our maternal side.
Okay.
Which is missing right now, right? I mean, in the West, it's easy, man. They've got 3-4 generations to pile up. It happens there automatically. And there's some apps and all that do that. India, it's a big problem.
It is.
Like you have n number of cousins. I have n number of cousins. So therefore, the ancestry goes, n number of trees above.
Yeah.
So I think I was always looking at documenting the past. I always had this craving that I need to know my past in its entirety.
So was it you had a craving to document it, or was it that, and was it driven by wanting to know who you are, where do you come from? Well, how do you put this?
I think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
Documenting because I was realizing that with time, a lot of my cousins or, the next generation, with time you will dilute.
And you drift apart. The family doesn't,
Not as a family. I mean, we are very close-knit. I don't see that happening. But I see the loss of facts happening, right? Now, for example, we come from a very illustrious family in Mysore. Okay. And a lot of my cousins or the next generation nephews and nieces may not be aware of this completely. So when would they own up their ancestry? When would they realize their worth? Right? Your worth is not because you work in ENY or you work in PwC or whatever. Your worth is because you have been born on this planet and these guys have been responsible for it.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm looking at genetics, right? The earliest interest that I had for history was from genetics, from Gotra. The fact that we have a Gotra system.
Oh, that's so fascinating, Ajit. You mentioned this. So, here's what fascinated me about Gotra. I hadn't realized this. Okay, so I had my atheistic phases, I had my agnostic phases, and just like a prodigal son always returns, Shiva somehow brought me back. So that's
right.
And without me knowing, he brought me back. So I was having this weird discussion with somebody, and like always, it was centered around feminism and masochism and chauvinism. Sorry, not masochism, chauvinism and all that things that were happening.
Right.
And I was really bored, and I wanted to get out of there. Right. So it was not exciting me. Those days, I was only into data security, security of data in transit, and security on the internet, privacy. These were the only things that were catching up. And that's what I was doing for a living as well. I just really wanted to get out of there. I don't know where it came from. I told them, dude, stop all this. You're saying this is this, and you're like, why are we so hell-bent on Gotra and all that? If you're not hell-bent on Gotra, why even study genetics? I don't know where it came from.
Super.
I don't know where it came from.
Wow.
And I told, I don't want to name the people in that discussion. A person who was really aggressively saying that this is not kosher and this is not right. And I said, why do you even study genetics?
Absolutely.
Why is genetics kosher? Why is Gotra not?
Absolutely.
Just because you heard it in a different language?
Correct.
So what fascinated you about Gotra?
I don't know. So I was, I mean, I was a curious kid, man. Let me tell you that way. I mean, we were bored enough in school.
Yeah.
Right? I hope the kids are not listening.
No, the kids today are not bored.
Yeah. So they've got activities and they've got a huge backpack to take care of.
Unfortunately, they also have a smartphone.
A smartphone as well. So I was a curious kid. Wherever I could read, I would read. And you rightly said it, when we were exposed to certain books or certain write-ups on or off the internet, I would stick. I think I realized this even before the internet came in. So it would have been through a book. And I realized that, so the author had clearly mentioned, the Y chromosome is the Gotra and all that. So it connected, right? It immediately connected. Y chromosome, oh my God. So XY, XX and all that. Right? I mean, we were
so just for the audience, explain this to us. Explain this to the audience in case people do not know about genetics, the Y chromosome, the X chromosome, and the Gotra system.
Okay. So, see, our gender is determined by a certain combination of chromosomes. So, I think this happens in the mitochondria, if I'm not too sure, if I'm not correct. But the chromosomes determine your gender. So XY, as they call it in the Western parlance, XY leads to a male progeny, and double X chromosome leads to a female progeny. And when I was reading this as a kid, Y chromosome determines the Gotra or whatever it is. There's a correlation.
That's because you get your Y chromosome only from your
father. From the male, from the father. So then I realized, oh my God, this is a solid lineage mapping and all that.
Correct.
And that book told me that, Ramayana's lineage up to 13 generations and all that kind of stuff. So so I was like blown away. And we had seen Ramayana as a TV serial. Right?
Exactly.
Arun Govil and all that.
What, middle school? That's when it started?
No, man, primary.
Primary school, yeah.
Primary school, 86.
Middle school was the Mahabharata time.
So Ramayana, I watched it as a kid, you watched it as a kid, we know the characters and all. But we didn't realize that, boss, before this guy came, there were 13 generations.
13 generations. All the way to Ikshvaku.
Yeah. And then, I didn't realize that time. Now I realized, why we were fed into this whole word of mythology. Okay. You cannot call a 13 generation family tree mythology. Right?
That incensed me so much because I was bought into mythology. I would call our history mythology.
Yeah.
I mean, history is also a wrong word. I would call our itihasa mythology. And when I realized what it was, I was so incensed that I was incensed because I was brainwashed.
Correct.
That's the reason I was incensed.
And we are now talking about a generational undoing.
Yeah.
Right? Most of us have realized that there has been a conditioning of mind, and we were fed Aryan invasion theory and all of those kind of things, right?
Aryan invasion, migration, or tourism theory.
Yeah, all of that, right? And then now it's thankfully some other theories also, out of India theory, OIT as they call it.
But I think OIT preceded AIT.
No. OIT,
Max Muller started with OIT, right?
To a certain extent, but then he kind of
flipped afterwards.
Flipped after that, moved into AIT. But OIT right now, it's being, prepped up by Indian Indologists themselves.
Yeah.
Indian Indologists.
Yeah.
So, so Gotra and all of these themes, right, they were independently picking my curiosity. They were like, oh, okay, oh, this is interesting. So I kind of got into this rabbit hole kind of a thing, right? Years and years of studying, daily reading.
This was not studying. This was curiosity. And automatically assimilation is happening.
Absolutely. Passionate assimilation.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm listening to music of Metallica, Black Sabbath, talking about suicide and drugs and all that.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh my God. So wait a second. Yeah. If you were not an Indian kid, they would have called you bipolar.
Bipolar, ADHD, or all of the above, whatever it is. I mean, no jokes there. I mean, people face these. That's okay. But yeah, I mean, I was having this, and here I should express deep gratitude to my parents. All right. I used to play Metallica and Maiden before I started for college. Joseph's. Okay. That was around 8 o'clock in the morning, full volume Metallica. I had to listen. My dad is reading the newspaper. My
But
mom is cooking
this is
inside.
right after Suprabhata. You start with Metallica.
Yeah.
Because you're not awake while Suprabhata was being played.
No, maybe I was awake for that also. I don't remember now. But I remember this part.
Okay.
Right? And no word of denouncement from either of them.
Wow.
Right? Now that...
With all the explicits that would come, or did they not get it?
No, probably I was too young to realize they were expletives.
Okay.
And I think these guys didn't care.
Okay.
Right? And you know the upbringing there, right? Full volume, half an hour a session, and then I would get to the bus, BTS bus back then, not the
I remember
BMTC.
those. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Take the bus, land in Joseph's, and get into whatever it is.
By any chance, just for curiosity, do you remember the number?
131, 134.
Fantastic.
132. Yeah. From Indranagar. Right? So, what I was trying to say is, that is a deep level of tolerance and maturity.
Back in the day.
As a parent.
Yeah.
You know, when you're not too possessive, neither are you too protective. You know?
Yeah.
And that helped me a lot in expanding whatever the horizons I have today.
Okay, so basically, you had not seen conditioning.
Not to a large extent.
Fantastic.
Of course, my dad was very clear. I had to finish my engineering, get a degree. This music and all can wait. So those are very clear directives.
All our lives, everybody in our generation, that was done.
But he would come and see my performance, man.
Wow.
So that is, so I remember all those times. So I think he played a huge role, because my primary schooling was in Delhi. Okay. So we had traveled to Badrinath and all that from there only. And
so the seed was there with you for a very, very long time.
Very long time, yeah.
Okay.
I can go back to age 8 or 9 probably.
Wow. Okay.
Right. We traveled to Badri and Mathura, Kashi, all of those places, Varanasi and Sarnath. I clearly remember Sarnath.
Okay.
He took us to the museum. Of course, he was working in the central government. He was in the income tax department. So we had some good, ways to get there. So he took me to the museum and he would expose me to these things. Okay.
So your dad is doing this way back when you were 8 years old?
Way back when I was 8, 9, 10, 11. Those 4 years. Formative years, right? Unconsciously. He's not telling me, come Ajit, you have to come here. No, you wake up. No. He's just saying, if you can, come. Right?
And you want to be with your dad and you could go along.
Yeah, here I am an 8-year-old, 9-year-old reading some Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
Count of Monte Cristo, all of those kind of books. Right? And I would get into this Badrinath. I was deified back then only, man. Back then, I was absorbed in the Himalayas. I couldn't fathom that it's so massive. Right? And I had a lot of motion sickness when I was a kid. So, regular stops.
Everywhere.
Over the Himalayas, right? So when I came to Sarnath, I saw a museum and they had this Ashoka, the whole thing.
Edicts and all
that. And also that Ashoka pillar, right? And some monasteries, like some mounds kind of thing. And I had read about that in history, so I could correlate.
Okay.
So I took some photos there. I mean, those analog cameras, 36 reel.
Yeah, so you put that in, stretch it out.
Yeah,
make sure you don't expose.
So we took all those photos and I came back home and I showed this to my history teacher. See, we've been here and all. She said, oh, great, exciting, very nice. Why don't you do something? Why don't you create a project and all? So I wanted to create a hut of the Harappan civilization.
Wow, okay.
It ended up being a modern
precocious kid, Ajit.
No, it ended up becoming a thermocol made modern hut. Because I had no idea, man.
But you were modeling back then.
Yeah, the willingness was there, right?
Yeah.
So when I connect the dots in hindsight, as Steve Jobs says, it's marvelous the way the life has turned out. It's just absolutely marvelous.
Oh, fantastic. So all these, now it makes sense. All these you're growing up with, and the varied influences, some you got into voluntarily, some were thrown upon you. Your dad coaxed you or just exposed you instead of coaxing you. He just exposed you. So all this is happening. And how did, college-wise, yes, you were into a band, you were doing your own stuff. Of course, engineering, you had to go through with it. All of us had to go through with it. We're through with it. And when you got into Infosys, of course, your dad had passed away and you had to get on with the job hunt.
Yeah.
You got into Infosys. How did that treat you? How, I mean, of course, technology-wise, you're growing. Did you continue your music through Infosys?
No, I see. As a kid and as an adult also, I never realized that I could plan my life, man.
Okay.
Because I never planned it.
And it's just
somebody else said do science, somebody else said computer science. Computer science used to be one major
thing, mega thing.
fad back then, right? AI, ML kind of a fad back then. I never planned it. I never thought that, okay, let me join Infosys, let me work there for some years, let me see what I can do. So I never hopped from companies.
So that's why 18 years in Infosys.
That's it. You know, if I can use the word in Kannada, ashte. Right? Because I never planned anything in advance, man. I was just going with the flow. And I didn't know that I was going with the flow. These are all terminologies that came settled down much later. So when I joined Infosys, the first thing, the reason I applied for certain companies was because they had a rock band.
Okay.
So
that
was a driver.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a driver. And I had lost my father back then, but I was mentally strong not to get consumed by it.
Okay.
I'll tell you one more thing. So I had applied for some companies right after his passing away, right? And within 3 or 4 weeks of his passing away, I got into a company, which is not Infosys. This is a company called Briggs of Burton. I don't know if they still exist.
Okay.
They build breweries.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
So I was trained for 2 days. I was given some manuals for 2 days. Third day, I was put to Pondicherry. Back then, it was called Pondicherry, not Puducherry. Pondicherry had this breweries called Sika breweries outskirts.
Remember them, yeah.
Hayward's 2000, 5000. So I was in charge of that plant. Can you believe it?
You are in charge. Out of college, you are in charge of Hayward's 2000 and 5000?
Yeah, because I finished my instrumentation technology, so they thought I know end-to-end of instrumentation.
Little did they know, engineers didn't know jack back then.
So I got in and I saw, let me do this. And, I was just going every day over there, 5-6 days. Then I thought, I've learned enough. And, good smell of hops and stuff like that. Fragrance was all around from morning till evening. Right? Yeah. And then I got back to Bangalore. Then that morning, my boss says, Ajit, you have to travel again tonight to Pondicherry. I was like, no, dude, this is not working out. This doesn't happen. So the next morning, I just checked with my mom. I said, there's no point here. It'll be a very travel-heavy thing. And at that point in time, we had to be with each other.
Yeah, right? Of course. Yeah.
That time. So I said, let me quit. And then again, I started hunting when I joined Infi. Now, the day I joined Infosys and I was put into a meticulous training regime of 3 months, I realized, oh my God, I've arrived.
Okay.
This is what it is. This is the best it can get back then.
Yeah, Infi was, getting into Infi was everybody's dream.
Everybody's dream, right? So got in by a stroke of luck. This is where divine intervention happens. So I will come to that once I finish this thread. So I got in as a fresher. I was trained on mainframe technologies, right?
Wow.
COBOL, Kix, JCL and all that kind of stuff. And again, I told you, right, I am enjoying all of these things. There is no judgment in my head that, this is not correct, that is correct. This is not the in thing. Why should I be doing it? No.
You're just absorbing everything that's coming along.
Just absorbing, going along. And I loved the work in the first few years and, it continued. Then I was moved to on-site in Australia, Melbourne, a nice stint there of around 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
Right?
And typical Infi.
Offshore on-site.
Progression,
Yeah, project management, all of that. So things were cool, right? And I was in the band anyway, so we were performing. And at on-site, when I was there,
Infi, of course, you said that was the reason you found a job.
Yeah.
So Infi had a rock band.
And
did you have to try out for it, get selected?
Yeah, audition.
You had to audition?
Oh, yeah. So
wow.
So the first thing I did after I got my email ID, wrote to the band.
Okay.
So the band was called Elements. It was led by a guitarist called Abhishek Jain. I hope he listens to this somehow and we kind of connect.
Okay.
And he was a lead guitarist. So I would have joined in as a twin lead guitarist.
Okay.
So we can perform more bands and stuff like that. So he was very happy that
he had somebody taking some
role and stuff like that. So then, it kind of evolved and started performing in corporate gigs and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So Infosys also, the way I joined Infosys, very funny, very interesting incident. So I had given the interview and the initial assessments, the analysis of the quants or whatever, the exams, right? At
aptitude tests.
Aptitude tests. No, I remember.
Yeah.
St. Joseph's Indian High School. Okay, that's where I gave it.
Oh, my old school.
Yeah, your old school, right? So, and I was like, okay, and they had asked me to write an essay. The topic of the essay is, what would you do to minimize global warming?
Wow. Okay.
This was 2001. 2002, sorry, 2002.
2002, yeah.
So I wrote some essay. Okay. And I was this kid, okay, whatever came to my mind, I would write it. No filter. Wrote it. Then got the result, I flunked. The reason was flunking was essay was not up to the mark.
What did you deny global warming?
No, I didn't deny global warming. They asked me what is the best way to minimize global warming. So I said stop or switch off all the air conditioners in your company.
Oh my God, you hit a nerve.
It was that direct.
You hit a nerve.
So the HR called me and said, Ajit, sensitive and all. I said, okay, fine, fair enough, no problem. Dad passed away after that. His dream was for me to join Infi.
Everybody's parents' dreams was
so
Infi.
He passed away. Done. Then I joined the brewery company. Then from nowhere, I get an email from Infosys that we are hiring and we have shortlisted you. Come and join us. There will be a small little exam and then you are selected. So we were from that rare batch in Infosys. And once we joined in, we underwent a training for 6 months, 3 months.
3 months training. Yeah, that rigorous training.
Yeah, rigorous training, right? And this was in Chennai. So the first month I got a mail saying that you have to take an English exam.
What?
I was like, dude, you're kidding me.
They asked you to take an English exam?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So...
You should have told them I'm from Joseph's.
So I went there, I gave the exam, and it's an essay that you have to write. And there are some 10 or 12 others. I think this was a fallout of the fact that, the essay that I'd written was a rather churlish or
switch off the ACs.
Switch off the ACs, right? So they said, okay, probably the English is not proper.
Okay.
Maybe he wanted to express something else. I said, okay, let me take the test. Took the English test, maxed it. And then the guy who gave me the test, he asked me, why were you asked to take the test in the first place? I said, I have no clue. I've given it. Now I'm done. So that came as an entry in my overall scholastic achievements at Infosys.
What? That you maxed the English text?
No, I gave an English test. That I gave an English test.
Oh, so this is for people who could not speak English and they wanted
something
to...
Like that.
Oh
something
my
like
goodness.
Right? So that happened. And again, I didn't realize it that time. I told you, like going with the flow kind. So gave it, done. So that was an interesting incident that happened in Infi.
Wow. I would have simply said, I'm from Joseph's, man. So through this Infi, you're playing your corporate brands and all that. How did you get out of it? I mean, 18 years... It's almost like in the Shashank Redemption, you're institutionalized.
Right.
How did you break that?
Right. So, 18 years is a long time in any organization. And I would say I'm eternally grateful, man, to Infosys for making me whoever I am today. Putting in some corporate ethics, values, all those kind of things. Getting me the rigor of going through a technology development process and all of that. And it was a good 18 years, right, where I had varied experience, technologies, people, all of that. Now, when I was a daily reader.
Okay.
2 hours a day, I spent time on reading.
You've been that all your life.
Yeah. So during certain times, I got into reading non-fiction, like large non-fiction in Sanskrit or that kind of stuff.
Tell me when you did this, Ajit, because I think there's a correlation here.
So this,
when did you move to non-fiction?
Always non-fiction, man. Fiction didn't appeal to me.
Okay.
I mean, see, I used to, when I was in college, I used to say, you don't give fiction to somebody who creates it.
Okay.
Right? So always into non-fiction. Always into non-fiction. A lot of political thrillers, a lot of those kind of analysis, geopolitical stuff and all that.
Okay.
But at the same time, the spiritual and historical nuggets. So this whole thing of Infosys as a corporate and my life is not different, man. See, the way I look at things, everything is integrated, everything is happening at the same time. You are just, let's say, a channel that is visualizing all of it. You're the observer, as they call it in the quantum.
Okay.
Right? And whatever was happening to me, I was just digesting it.
Okay.
So as a reader, I was looking at philosophy, I was looking at geopolitics, I was looking at music and arts, I was looking at ancient music scales.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll come back on this. Okay. All right.
So all of that. And I was assimilating all of it. Right. Now, when I was preparing for my debut album, I took a sabbatical from Infosys for 3 months.
They gave you sabbatical for a debut album?
For the debut album.
Okay, fantastic. This 2016, right?
2016. So I took a 3-month sabbatical. Okay. First month I spent only on researching what the hell should I do the album about. There's nothing. It was a clean board in my head. I knew I had to make an album. And I'd set up a studio fairly well.
Okay.
First month I started reading about. So one morning I wake up and I have this question. All the Panchabhuta have symbols associated with them.
Yeah.
The Panchabhuta is your,
I know.
but
ether, the audience, please let the audience know.
Ether, air, water, earth, fire, right? The 5 fundamental elements of existence across the cosmos. So for me, it was a question arose one morning that, all right, we draw earth like this, we draw fire like this, we draw air this way, water this way. What's for ether?
Okay.
And I Googled. And I didn't get a good symbology of ether. I got the Shinto, Chinese, Buddhist thing of a swirl, right?
Okay.
It didn't appeal to me. It didn't.
So iconography, basically iconography.
Right?
Okay.
How is it represented visually? Then I started digging deeper. Then I realized that there is this Panchabhuta Kshetra in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Imagine, I realized in 2016 there's a Panchabhuta Kshetra of temples. Okay.
Okay. Explain this to us. What are the Panchabhuta Kshetra of temples and what temples are there?
So basically, these are temples embodying metaphysically the 5 elements of existence.
Okay. As in there are 5 different temples? Or?
5 different temples in different regions.
Okay.
All around Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
Integrated Andhra Pradesh. United Andhra Pradesh, as they call it. So the ether element is represented by the Nataraja temple in Chidambaram.
Which is the Nataraja, which is replicated in CERN as well.
In CERN also.
Correct.
Right? So it's the same funda there.
Yeah.
Right? So...
and this is where?
This is in Chidambaram.
Chidambaram. Okay. The famous Nataraja of Chidambaram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And the famous Nataraja of Chidambaram is something that I had seen as a kid. I never realized that I could travel there also.
Okay.
Okay. So, this inertia that is there within each of us, it's baffling. So I made an attempt to read about it, read the metaphysics, the 4 directions, the cardinal directions, what all deities are there. So ether is basically Sadashiva.
Sadashiva, yes.
Sadashiva has 5 heads, 5 directions. Now his western direction, the head, it is called Sadyojat.
Sadyojat.
Sadyojat means sudden born.
Okay.
And this is especially important and critical for creatives. See, a lot of creative ideas, they just come.
From nowhere.
From nowhere.
Yeah.
Technically, when you're facing west, that's where you get these ideas. That's the metaphysics of it.
Okay.
Right? So, Chidambaram temple has represented this. Okay. So, I read through this for a month and I knew, okay, boss, I need to do this album now. Okay. This is the concept. Okay. So, so I called the album Think Void because I wanted something to rhyme with Pink Floyd.
Ether. Pink Floyd and Ether, Think Void.
Yeah, ether, void, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to
Pink
bring
Floyd,
in a semblance.
Void, yeah.
Everything, right? So I wrote down the song titles and all because there's instrumental music. I need to kind of get the song titles first and then get into defining the moods for that music and stuff like that. Then I made a travel to Chidambaram. I said I have to go to that temple.
Okay, so you didn't half-ass this. You actually went to Chidambaram.
Yes.
Okay.
So I went to Chidambaram. I stayed there for 3 days. And I recorded the sound of Chidambaram. I took a recorder. I wanted the frequency of that temple to be recorded, audio frequency. Right?
Okay. So the day-to-day, you used to go to the temple on a daily basis?
Yeah. Morning, evening, night, and, kind of record, sit there, stand, whatever, meditate, whatever it is. Consume the entire ambience. Okay. So we met some of the Dikshitas there. and they were speaking in Tamil, I was speaking in English. They understood fairly well. And I told them I want to go to the western side of the temple.
Okay.
They were like flummoxed. Why western side and all? So they took me outside.
Okay.
And fair enough, there is a Brahma idol in the western side of Chidambaram Nataraja temple.
Inside the compound?
The Prangan, outside.
Inside the Prangana?
Inside the Prangana on the western direction.
There is a Brahma's face.
Brahma's face.
Wow.
And I told the Dikshitar, yeah, this is correct because this is what the metaphysics are. He was like, blown off.
Wait,
like,
he didn't know this?
He didn't know this. So how do you know all this? Right? So a lot of these things fell in place there.
Okay.
Now I knew, okay, this has to be a song. So one of the songs is only about the western direction. So in my album, I created a booklet with all these metaphysical elements there. For whoever is interested, they can read. Whoever's not, there's no point.
No, but it's just a tidbit for them, right?
Yes. Yeah. So that got me even more excited about temple architecture, about Hindu cosmology, about iconography, as you said, right? And the deity being the magnetic equator for the leg, right? I mean, that's the magnetic equator. And near Chidambaram, there is a magnetic resonance institute also.
Now, did somebody plan this or?
I don't know. That I probably.
Or is it just nimitta?
No, the government knew it.
Okay.
I think they planned it accordingly. But did the ancients know it? That is the question that I was perplexed by. Did the ancients know it?
No, were you perplexed by it? Because by now I know the ancients knew it. And there's no reason why our ancients put anything anywhere by accident.
Absolutely. Let me rephrase it. I was not perplexed by it. I was curious how they knew it.
Okay.
And we don't know today. What have we lost?
Right? So that is where the question started.
Exactly.
What have we lost?
What have we lost? And that is when the seed probably of who we are was born in my head.
And in the western direction.
In the western direction again. Probably. I don't remember now. Probably. But that's been the journey, man. So
and sorry, just for the audience, what are the other 4 temples?
The other 4 temples are the Kalahasti for air element.
Okay.
Tiruvannamalai for fire element.
Okay.
Jambukeshwara, if I'm not wrong, for the water element. And earth element, not too sure.
Okay.
One of the other temples that I miss out. But that's pretty much
the Panchabhuta temples.
Kshetra.
Right.
So then I was fairly curious about this. Then I got into the music production and deeply went into the music side of it.
I'm so sorry, Ajit, but the Panchabhuta Kshetra is south of the Vindhyas.
Yes.
This just struck me because a lot of our Indologists of the past say the IVT was all north of the Vindhyas.
Right. Correct.
Sorry to take you off track there.
No, I mean all of these things are going to be debunked anyway.
Yeah.
I think they are rooted in very, very thin surfaces.
Yeah.
They'll be debunked in no time.
Yeah. So coming back, so you were going through this. You got your album released, and while doing this. That's now looking back, you think the seed of WhoVR was planted in 2016 then?
I guess so, man. That curiosity that I had in that 1 month of research reading, that was consuming me.
So I think we have been experiencing this in parallel across different timelines.
Interesting.
So when you said, the question was, what have we lost? Right? So maybe it's difference in personalities also. You had an inquisitive bent of mind when you said what we have lost. When my journey back was happening, again, I just couldn't stop reading from similar ages, probably 10 or so, or a little earlier than that. I just couldn't stop reading.
Wow.
For no reason. I mean, there was we were living in Sheshadrapuram. I had exhausted one library there. Wow. But again, I have to thank my cousin for this. So it was a joint family, and then my elder cousin was there. She was studying her philosophy or something back then, and I was just a kid. And I used to accompany her to the library and back, and she put me into the habit. So, and she used to read a book a day. So all that thing. So that I had exhausted that library. So reading was always there. But again, what will you get in these libraries? Nothing of substance. It used to be some crazy Hardy Boys when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I never got into the famous five natak. And so it was all such kind of stupid thing. But then the reason I stopped you earlier and said, when did you move into non-fiction? Because I was reading a lot of fiction. And automatically by 16, I just lost interest in fiction. At 16, nice. I lost interest in fiction. Then I went into non-fiction. And my non-fiction basically became physics. And the moment, I still remember, the first time I realized that light has dual nature, that was the hook for me.
Oh, man.
So from then on, I went into quantum and astrophysics. And that's, even to this day, that's my passion. So I couldn't stop reading. And somewhere along the way, I think between 2007 and 2010, I got into reading of our history, our itihasa, which is the right word, our itihasa. And then I got into our shastras.
Wow.
And that is when you said, what have we lost? I said, how did we lose this?
True.
So I think we got through around similar times.
A similar timelines.
A few years. So that's why I said things have been happening in parallel.
Wow, man.
I mean, this is just crazy. So
this is exciting stuff.
I'm sorry to put you off, but then I mean, I'm happy to meet you after so many years, and
I know.
Literally, it's a catching up going on.
Yeah,
I do not know how the audience will find this.
No, absolutely. And so once I realized it's Chidambaram stuff, right? I really wanted to do something about it. One is the music and the album and all that. But then, it told me, boss, there is such a deep science here. And if you're not doing justice to your ancestors' wisdom,
your heritage,
what the hell are you here for?
This is our heritage.
So that gave me the so-called purpose that people search for nowadays.
You found that in 16?
16.
2016.
16, 17, that period.
This is profound. You found your purpose then?
Yes.
And was that a realization or internalization?
What was it? It was a realization. It was internalization. It was dreamy.
Okay. Was it a conscious thought? Did it concretize there?
It just hit me.
Okay.
It just hit me. There's no concrete. As I said, I'm somebody who's not intellectualized anything in my life.
Okay.
Neither have I had the thought of intellectualizing it. Whatever happens, let it happen.
Okay.
As Ramana Maharshi says, let whatever comes, let it come. Let whatever goes, let it go. See what remains. I'm a living
practitioner
going through it.
Okay.
And humbly so. There's nothing. Millions of your viewers will be going through this, not knowing about it. But yeah, that's the way it is. So I think that's when I realized that this is the purpose.
Okay.
Until then, music was the purpose in life.
Okay.
So it created a shift in my mindset.
Okay. And how did that manifest from there? From there, did you start planning to do something about it? Again, you say you're just going with the flow. From there, how did that affect you, your corporate life or your priorities in corporate life? How did that change? What was that change?
So, corporate life was going on its own. I was fully committed there, and I was fully committed here also. And these were initial days, right? So, see, a lot of these things are whims and fancies. You get a strike in your head and you say, oh man, this is the next big thing. Let me do this, right? No, because I am not from a history background. I'm a techie.
Yeah.
I don't know any historian in India. Now, if I want to set up something about history and heritage, I need to gain some foothold there, or at least find out the supply of that particular subject matter expertise.
Okay.
So the first thing that I did before even starting or creating prototypes and all that, I met some historians.
Okay.
And I told them, this is the idea. What do you think about it? They said, we love the idea. This is, high time we do something about this technologically, and we will work with you. We'll partner with you.
Okay.
I said, guys, you are legendary. I can't afford you guys, but I will try. They said, no, you don't need to afford us. We are with you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this was Dr. D.K. Hari and Dr. D.K. Hema Hari, who run Bharat Gyan in Chennai.
Wow. And they actually said, you don't have to afford us?
Yeah. So they said they were kind enough to say that. And see, they come with, since 97, 98, they have been doing documentation of history. They've been writing books and stuff like that. Deep knowledge. So I was like, okay, this is great. And they put me through to their network.
Okay.
Which is more
expanded.
And that included temple architects in Kumbakonam.
Okay.
These are Vishwakarmas.
So just for the audience, Vishwakarmas are people who, from ancestry, are given the knowledge of temple architecture, maintenance, Shilpa Shastras, and all that.
The Agamas and all of that.
Yeah. So I think you're the best person to explain this to our
so these
audience. Just explain the Vishwakarmas and their lineage.
So Vishwakarmas are a generational temple architects who know a lot of Agamas, who know Shilpa Shastras, who know the reasons why certain metals and certain stones are used in certain temples, and where there are certain metals and stones not to be used in certain temples. Why there are certain temples that allow certain genders and why not the others, right? They know the sciences behind this.
And so this is not, in Kannada they say Moodanambike or thing. There is a science for everything.
There is a science for everything. I mean, we are conditioned to think that these are superstitious, but I think now that conditioning is
slowly
lifting. So these are those guys who know it and who have been transmitted this knowledge generationally, right? So they put me through to such people and I learned a lot. So that's when I realized, okay, this is the right time for a prototype.
Okay.
So
now the audience still does not know what WhoVR is doing.
Yeah.
So
that is, let me put that in right now. So WhoVR is a startup focused on digital heritage, history, arts and architecture of India. And we want each of you to have a walkthrough of temples and monuments as they are and learn about their symbologies, learn about their iconographies, learn about the architecture prowess, the engineering marvels that these are. Back in the day when, 216 feet Gopuram of Brihadishwara temple is standing there with interlocked stones, no cement, no gum, and no foundation.
Wow.
Right? Earthquakes have come and gone. It's still alive. It's still standing strong.
And I think the strongest earthquake was 6 point something.
6.3 or something, right? Super. See. So that's the kind of work that we do. And we work with these historians, archaeologists, oceanographers, geologists, all these partner networks that come with huge amount of research and knowledge that doesn't find an avenue beyond a research paper or a symposium or a conference, right? So it is largely very restricted to the scholastic community. We have taken it as an endeavor to put their research into a visual medium and ensure that these are enjoyed by the youngsters today in the technologies that they consume. So we put these in virtual reality and augmented reality experiences, right? So these are 3D walkthroughs. And we also create walkthroughs of monuments that do not exist today. So we reconstruct ruins. We actually take a lot of research material from Skanda Purana, Skanda Mahatmyas, whatever the itihasas are, the Puranas. We take that at face value, convert that into a visualization thing.
Okay, so there is a lot of research also that goes back.
There's deep research that goes into this, right? Because our thing is not only the research papers that we will consume, we want to focus only on the visualization aspects of it.
Okay, now that makes it a little more difficult because you got to go back to the architectural plans.
Correct.
Do you also go through
if
travel?
They exist.
If they exist. or you will have to rely on travel historians.
Absolutely. So we
and their descriptions.
Yes, we rely on those Hoensangs and all those guys who travel, all the travel logs, we unearth them, right? And we look at primary sources, we don't look at translation works.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Of course.
Right. So that's basically what we do at WhoVR, and our target audience is kids and the elderly. Kids, because we can get them interested in history. This could become part of the school curriculum, and how they experience history, much unlike how we read about history.
No, we didn't read about history.
So that is one. The other one is
dates.
Yeah, the other one is elderly, because a lot of the elderly today, they're not in a position to travel physically, right?
Yeah.
Some of them. So with this kind of a hyper realistic experience visually, they at least feel that they are one with the world. So we've had this concept of embodied cognition which is a neuroscientific concept.
Okay.
Where you become one with the virtual environment that you're part of. So if you've played a game, right, you'll kind of
correct.
You'll kind of move around.
Yeah.
And you'll tilt your head, much like what the scene is compelling you to do.
Absolutely.
We take it to the next level here. So we've had people fold their hands when they enter the temple.
I actually have seen that. Okay, so I'll keep this comment for a little while later.
Right.
Keep the suspense going.
And we've had people remove their shoes. Right? They know it's animation. They know this is graphics. They know they're in a virtual world. But nothing stops them from doing this.
They fold their hands and they remove their shoes?
They remove their shoes. Right? And these are kids, youngsters. These are not,
okay,
the seasoned, culturally sound kind of people. No. These are people like, you and me.
Yeah.
Who are, less...
the prodigal children.
Yeah. So that for me is a huge transformation possibility, man, culturally. When people are talking about decolonizing their mindsets, right? When our Honorable Prime Minister talks about it with his Panch Pran, this is a powerful technology that can accelerate it.
Okay. So you're saying this is coded into us. It is a behavior that is deep coded into us. If we see something of reverence, we automatically grasp it?
I think so, but of course, let there be some deep research, and I beg for deep research into such themes, right? And let us prove that Gotra is absolutely genetic, scientific.
No, that is proven.
Right? Yeah. No, in the sense that it is giving us the cultural values and ethics as a pass on, right? Tangibles is one thing. Intangibles is something the Western civilization has not been able to quantify.
No, because it's not reductionist.
It's not reductionist, correct? So with these kind of researchers, I really feel that we could look at intangibles as measurable, let's say.
Okay.
And
that's a oxymoron of sorts.
But right? And look at it from a genetic perspective. Look at it from a Shastric perspective. Because generationally, we are doing this.
Okay. And we are doing this with half-baked knowledge, or rather complete ignorance of late.
Absolutely. Correct. But we are doing it.
Yeah.
We are doing it. So
there's a repetitiveness that's built in here.
Right.
And without actually realizing. So it's something like we wrote history exams by memorizing dates. So we're practically living that. And we have done that for generations now.
True. So this gives the kids also a very, very surreal experience, right? Now they love playing games. They play games, right? They are into it.
Yeah.
This is a way that we can plug them out of that environment, move them into this environment, let's say. They'll be into this also.
Okay.
Right? And it's proven beyond doubt now.
And especially if it's a VR headset. They're all used to Meta.
Yeah.
As of now. So VR headset is nothing new for them.
Nothing new for them. So that's the kind of outcome that I am after in the long term. Right?
Okay.
Decolonizing the mindset. Right?
Was that in 2016 when you started planning WhoVR? Is that how it began? No.
This evolved.
Okay.
This evolved. So I realized by 2016, 2017, I think 2019 is when we made our prototype.
How did the team come together? From 2016, you had this epiphany in Chidambaram.
Yeah, until 2018, I didn't act on it at all.
Okay.
In the sense that 2018, I had talk to the historians and all
Correct.
that. And some framing we were doing it. 2019, because this is virtual reality, and I didn't know if there's any virtual reality.
How did the mind go and say we got to do it in virtual reality? Because you were working with virtual reality in Infi?
Yeah. So I was not working with virtual reality. I was reading about virtual reality. And when I read about virtual reality, and I'd seen virtual reality even in the 90s, Aerosmith's music videos had virtual reality. Okay. It's an old tech and it's not yet scaled up.
I do not know why. Maybe because of the hardware requirement?
Maybe because of the hardware. Primarily because of the hardware. So I knew virtual reality technology. And I read this book that I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the reference of the book.
How it all brought multiple technologies together.
Multiple techs all together. But at the same time, for me, the epiphany was, why can't this be for the temples? I'll tell you why. I have seen temples in YouTube. I've seen these as 2D walkthroughs, and I use the word 2D very responsibly. These are two-dimensional walkthroughs. You know it's there.
Yeah.
In virtual reality, I knew we can break that.
Yeah.
Right?
And you were exposed to virtual reality.
I was exposed to virtual reality. And when you read these things up, you'll have your own consciousness kicking in, you'll have your own tech know-how kicking in, and you can visualize how this will be. Right? So the reason we used VR was to create these embodied cognition kind of concepts.
Okay.
To completely immerse yourself into it so that you're not disturbed with the external environment. So the moment you put on the VR headset, you're not looking at any of these elements in your ambience, right?
Okay.
You are completely immersed in the temple. Now, if I give you a temple experience that is of 1,000 or 2,500 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you're actually walking through that, culturally you're part of it, it's a first-person experience, why won't there be a significant transformation in your psyche?
I don't see a reason why.
Cut that to a mobile phone. We take you 2,500 years ago. You're seeing a mobile phone. You're getting a notification there. Your timeline is broken. You're not going to get that feel.
No, you won't.
Right? You're not going to get that immersion.
Because you are not immersed. There is a lot of things elsewhere.
And that's the reason we selected virtual reality.
So this was a conscious thought and you were thinking
Absolutely conscious.
You were thinking this through even to 2018.
Yeah, even today, a lot of people tell me that you got enough content, put it on a channel, put it on the mobile, put it on your website. I said, no, that is all going to be 2D. I want a 3D experience.
Okay, so in 2018, you conceptualized this. How did WhoVR begin?
So WhoVR began with the prototype, as I said. So
what was your prototype?
Another interesting story. So I am a techie, so I know what it'll take to create a prototype. I had to just tick off some stuff, and I was into providing music for short films.
Okay.
So I would read scripts, storyboards. I was familiar with all of those terminologies. Okay. Right? So I connected all of them. I created a storyboard for the prototype. Then I had a techie. I needed one tech guy.
Okay.
VR. And with my limited knowledge back then, I thought VR is not available in India as a
wearable.
Some companies that work on VR technologies.
Okay.
Maybe they're not available.
Okay. So you're talking about the
2019.
2019, the tech part or the wearable part?
Software development.
Development part.
part. I mean, my limitation, right? My assumption. So I put a post on Facebook. I joined one of those Facebook groups.
Okay.
A plethora of groups, VR, AR, Metaverse, all of those. So I had a good learning experience. So there I put a post saying, I want a developer in VR. We want to create animation walkthroughs of ancient monuments.
Okay.
And I was brash about it. I mean, people told me, protect your IP, don't open so much. And I said, boss, leave it. If he's given, he'll take care. Right? If he's given it. So I put a post. I was expecting some guy from, US, UK, Sweden, somebody to ping me. Guy from Chennai pings me, man.
Wow. Okay.
He still remains my tech head, my technology head. That's when the association started.
Okay. And he's called?
His name is Manu Vikraman.
Okay.
And so I said, this is what I want to do. Manu said, dude, let's do this, man. So we set up some time. I wrote to ASI. We did a prototype at Lepakshi.
And this was already, the company was already set up?
No. Nothing was set up. Nothing was set up, and I was still with Infosys.
Okay.
Not moonlighting. This was all weekend work.
Okay.
So we set up one Saturday, Sunday. I took the permissions from ASI via email, blocked our time for the shoot. Manu came with his camera and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And he drew a map of the entire temple.
This is the Lepakshi temple.
Lepakshi temple. So we drew the map and all. We said we'll focus on these sections. Morning to evening, full shoot. 360 cameras.
So explain 360 cameras. Are these auditory cameras, laser cameras?
Visual.
Okay.
It's a camera with 4 lenses in the 4 cardinal directions.
Okay.
So it captures the entire scene all at once.
No, visual light.
Visually.
Okay.
Visually. And that time I was not so much into doing all this audio research and all that.
Okay.
It evolved, right? Because as you learn, you evolve.
Of course.
Right? So we focused on that, and we took the outer courtyard, and we took a lot of photographs and all that, and we would 3D model it eventually.
And okay. So sorry. Well, now my curiosity is piqued. How was your interaction with ASI? You just out of the women said, I want to do this, and they agreed?
Yeah. No, so ASI has a streamlined process.
Okay.
There is an approval process online. You can submit a form online that you want to shoot this. And whether it's for educational or commercial purpose. If it's for commercial purpose, you have to
pay
make
a charge,
payment, right? Educational purpose, they're cool. After that online submission, yes, you have to email, you have to follow up, you have to close the thread.
So there was a set procedure for you to do this.
It's quite evolved now compared to what probably it used to be in the early times.
Okay.
Right? So we got the permissions, we are good, and one ASI personnel was
monitoring you
for us to help us out, right? So we requested him towards the end of the day that can you just clear off the Garbhagriha, we want to take the complete shot there, indoor shooting. Okay. He said, give me 15 minutes, sir, we'll do it.
Wow.
And he actually cleared it.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't expect that, but he did. And then we took those shots, came back. We took around a month or 2 to do the post-production. Okay. So there were 2 prototypes that I got done.
Okay. So tell the audience, what is the process of post-production of a 3D capture in a 3D thing?
I'll come to that. Let me just finish the prototype thread. There were 2 prototypes we did. Okay, because I had to prove 2 things. One is a temple walkthrough for which you used a 360 camera. The other one is a time travel. I want you to go back in time. That is why you wanted that is my pet.
empty. Okay, that's your pet peeve.
No, I didn't want it empty. There's a Nandi, a gigantic Nandi monolith outside Lepakshi.
I know, I've seen them.
We did the time travel there. So we took the Nandi monolith giant and our historians, Dr. D.K. Hari and Hema Hari, they mentioned to me that the most arid part of Andhra, that is your Anantapur, used to be a dense forest 300 years ago.
Just 300 years ago?
Just 300 years ago. Wow. 200 years ago, maybe. Okay. Bears, tigers, all of those kind of animals. It was like dense forest.
So it was a proper forest.
Solid stuff. And even today in Anantapur district, there are a lot of small temples, which back then were inside the forest. Right now, it's in the open.
In barren land.
Right? Lepakshi is one such.
Yeah.
Lepakshi was in the forest.
Wow. Okay.
So that told me that, okay, this is a great time travel storytelling, narrative, right? And the history there is, Britishers used the woods of those forests to lay the railway tracks.
Oh my God, that is why it was deforested?
That's when the deforestation happened.
Wow.
All right. So that's also a great narrative to bring out, right? And this is all thanks to those guys' research, right? I mean, they spent their decades of research, and we are trying to bring that out in a very animated,
visually captive form.
Yes, storytelling. So we did both these prototypes. Now, to answer your question on the post-production, the process, see, the first thing we do is we do research on the site. And we rely on the historians, archaeologists, oceanographers, if it's a border, if it's like something like Dwarka, or if it's something like Pompohar, which are underwater remains.
Wait, Ajit. So this is a lot of collaboration and a lot of resources that go into this.
Absolutely, it's a lot of deep work, a lot of collaboration.
How did you fund this?
So we are completely bootstrapped. Shashank.
Okay. No,
Okay.
I'm talking about your first project. How did you fund it?
As I said, bootstrap, I funded it.
You funded it.
Absolutely.
So it's money from your pocket.
I'll tell you, until the society that we live in, right? Until they see evidence of success or outcome, nobody cares.
Fanta. Oh my
Okay.
God.
So your Bhagavad Gita of Karmanyavadi Karasema Phaleshu Kadachana, great words, not implementable in today's society. Everybody is behind the outcome. Even the religious ones are behind the outcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I cannot disagree with you there.
Yeah. So I gave into this. For me, see, this is the purpose, right? I mean, purpose is beyond today's world habits and all that.
Okay.
I had to make it happen. So even today, it's bootstrapped.
Okay.
Right.
So let's. Okay. Sorry to pull you off track. So you got this.
So we do that deep research, right? We get all the material. Now that material is in books. Okay.
Yeah.
My team has to read it for the visual clues. That's their focus area.
Okay. So you're sifting all the material that you get, and you're focusing, zeroing in on only those parts which give you visual clues.
Correct. So, for example, I told you the story of the British deforesting the whole thing.
That gave you a time travel narrative.
It could be a couple of chapters there. It has to click to us that this could be a storyline.
Okay.
Right. Otherwise, we'll see the whole thing off. We will just go through the pages and move on. So, we need regular read-ups and regular reviews of this. Once that is done, we move into scripting and storyboarding.
Okay.
Largely storyboarding. Scripting is only for the audio, the voiceover.
The voiceovers and narration and things like that.
Right. Once all that is done, that is when we get into the absolute development, technology development. So we use game engines for development.
Infinity?
No, we use Unreal and Unity.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the engines that we use, and we use a lot of this 3D modeling technology. 3D scanning we do for monuments, where we capture the monument details up to 1 millimeter of accuracy. Oh, so it helps in preservation also.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, so
that's quite accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's the industry standard today. So see, that's the other thing. Somewhere I read that most of the startups fail not because of money, not because of people, not because of co-founders, but because of the timing.
Yeah.
And for us, somehow the timing has worked. All the technology components that we use, game engines, GPUs, 3D scanners, they are all absolutely advanced right now. Very reliable, repeatable,
and proven. Yeah.
And market ready. Like, I mean, there are companies selling hardware. It's not like somewhere in a lab this technology is
you can plug and play from a retail store.
Yeah. So that, I mean, it kind of aligned. That's another thought that I had, that until things align, there's no way progress can be made.
Okay.
For example, virtual reality headset was invented during the NASA days, 90s. Okay, they had one nice prototype. And the first internet browser was not Netscape. It was called Mosaic.
I remember this, yes.
Mosaic was dedicated for virtual reality browsing on the internet in 1995.
Wow, I didn't know this.
Imagine dial-up modems that we used.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, could you imagine a 3D model render back then? But that was the dream of Mosaic.
Okay, so it was designed for that?
For that. Okay.
Wow, I didn't know this.
That was 1995. 96, everybody was excited about this. Let's get 3D modeling. Silicon Valley buzzing, US buzzing, UK buzzing. India sleeping.
Yeah.
That's okay. But then they realized that 3D model is a very complicated technology because game engines were not that advanced back then. GPUs were non-existent.
The hardware lagged.
Hardware lagged big time. Processing never happened. They shelved the whole idea.
Okay.
Now, imagine if I was there at that point in time, I would have connected those dots and I would have created WhoVR back then. I would have been an utter flop.
Yeah, because there is nothing to support you.
There's nothing to support you. So, I believe a lot of the startup success comes from the timing.
Yeah.
While all the others fall in place.
So, as the old adage goes, right place, right time.
Right place, right time. So, blessing. It's an absolute blessing. So, that's how we do it. That's the development part. Then we do the testing, we do the deployment, and then we take it to the customers, take it to the audience.
Wow, fantastic. Now, let's get to the I'm just too curious, buddy, because it's been a long time since we've caught up.
I think we're opening up a lot of threads, man, in parallel. Sorry about this.
That's fine, fantastic. That's how conversations go, and that's what we want. So I just want to know, what was the journey after your first project in Lepakshi? How did that journey go? What was the acceptance? Where did you struggle? Where did you get acceptance? Where were you lauded? What was the progression of WhoVR from there?
Okay, so once the prototype was done, I was still with Infosys. We had not registered the company yet. I was still testing waters. That way I'm a pragmatic person, right? Not overtaken by emotions, kind of a thing. We took this to the Bangalore airport.
Okay.
And they were then developing Terminal 2. They wanted some experience centers coming out.
2019.
Terminal 2, 2019. Map and all they had created. So, and by then I had met my co-founder in 2019.
Who is your co-founder?
Radhakrishnan G. Nair.
Okay.
I call him RGN. He likes to be called RGN. He comes from CTS and IBM background.
Okay.
He is into sales and business.
How did this meeting happen? Because this is going to be a funny thing. You cannot go and tell somebody we are doing Heritech.
Yeah. So how this happened was, I had signed up to a lot of forums, I told you, right?
Correct.
One of the forums was VR AR Association. VR AR Association. It's a global association for VR and AR enthusiasts.
Okay.
Right. So I joined the Bangalore chapter, and we had a meetup somewhere in Whitefield. So this guy had also come, and a lot of other guys had come, and we were supposed to demo our solutions and all. So I demoed my solution. See, with us, right, the blessing is that when we talk about the domain that we are operating in, that gets us the attention of the entire boardroom.
Of course.
Right? And then we demo the entire time travel, they are blown away. Right? By the way, it's all patented right now. It's all patented. So when he saw all this technology, he was like, I want to work with you. I said, I'm not looking for anybody right now. I'm really small. He said, no, I'll help you out. I am good with sales and businesses and all. I said, great, because I'm hopeless at it.
Okay.
Right? So complimentary. So we onboarded him, and he became the co-founder. The first thing I sent him was, BIAL was talking about Terminal 2 in one of the news articles. And I shared that article with him. He said, Ajit, I know somebody there. Let me connect with them.
Okay.
Fair enough. He connected. We met the COO, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Demoed the same Nandi Lepakshi. And he said, this is fantastic. Let's brainstorm on this, get more ideas, and then we'll float a proposal. I said, great. I came back 3 months later, COVID struck.
My goodness. So you finished this, you start this project with KIA Terminal 2, and then COVID hits. Wow. You start WhoVR, you get your first commercial project, if that's not wrong.
That was going to be the first.
That was going to be the first commercial project, and then COVID hits.
Yes, then COVID hits. But by then we had registered the company.
Okay.
Because, it's Bangalore airport, we need to be very clean. So we registered the company, and then we waited for, a good 1 year. And
till the first restriction got opened.
Yeah. And see, until then, we started socializing this with a lot of virtual reality portals globally.
Okay.
That, this kind of content is what we are developing. Would you be interested in stuff? And so during the shutdown, we focused on garnering partnerships globally.
Okay.
So that we are able to understand that, okay, there is a market globally.
Okay. So this was one to partner, one to understand that you have a market.
Yes, because see, if it's a shutdown, I probably can't expand on the amount of temples that I can document. Correct? So we had only one. Right? With that, I had to really look at a product market fit.
Okay, so the commercial project was to fund your temple documentation? Was that the idea back then?
No, the commercial project was to fund an entire experience center.
Okay.
Probably housing a lot of temples, monuments, and probably the statue that was upcoming back then.
Okay, the Kempegowda statue.
Right?
Okay.
So that's the kind of project plan that we went with, because history heritage, right?
Yeah.
It's infinity. The idea was to...
Especially in India, it's infinity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the idea was to set that thing up, get a commercial contract and get started. That didn't happen. So we pivoted to do a PMF, product market fit. Let's see if we can get a global, some global vantage points. We did that. We got that.
Okay.
Right.
So how did that? What was the first pivot that you captured?
So basically, we reached out to these virtual reality portals that are focused on tourism in Indonesia, in Europe, and in US.
Okay.
And they all were excited with the kind of content that we showed them. And they said, yeah, this is ready material because we don't have anything from India.
Okay.
Okay. So I was like, okay, great. It's a great fit. So we did those collaborations and partnerships, by which time I think the second wave was done and things were slowly opening up. Then we got into a focused initiative on the tenders and stuff like that.
Okay. And these are government tenders?
Government tenders. Okay. Government tenders. Because my co-founder had told me back then itself that only the government will fund these projects. You won't get private players. And he was behind the tenders and stuff. So we started responding to a lot of tenders.
So how difficult was it to manage or how easy was it to manage government tenders and go with all that? So, because that's a new world for you.
That's a completely new world, and we had no idea, right? I mean, it was a document, and we were submitting it online.
Okay.
Right? The biggest trouble was that we had to look at our revenues, and we had to put that in the tender.
Yeah.
So we would put the golden duck there.
Okay.
Right. We are absolutely at zero. Right. There's nothing that we've done, but we have this idea. We've got the patent filed back then.
Okay.
So all those kind of became differentiators for us quite early, right? So people were treating us seriously. So we were called by the government agencies to give a presentation and stuff like that. And, we would go present the same Lepakshi, the demo work.
Okay.
Slowly we realized that, yes, the government is the biggest sponsor of these projects. But unless we get a live commercial project where we can create content and work with them, we are not going to cut the, we're not going to...
You're not going to make a dent into the system.
Absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Right. So back then, that's how the universe plays, right? So I got a call from one of my colleagues in Indian Knowledge Systems, IKS, which I'm now a very integral part of, in terms of technology and all that. So back then we were just two, colleagues or co-travelers or whatever you want to call it. So he gave me a call. He said, Ajit, is your team ready? Can we work on something? I said, yeah, absolutely. So he patched me in with the IKS division in Ministry of Education.
Okay.
And they wanted to set up a bunch of experiences in VR and AR for G20.
For the G20 summit?
G20 summit.
Wow. Okay.
So this is where the universe plays its cards, right? So, beyond your control, you just submit. So when that happened, we were hooked. And that gave us an opportunity to create a lot of content across India.
So what did what did they want you to document? What did they want you to capture?
So they wanted us to give virtual walkthroughs of 4 or 5 monuments spread across India, northeast, west, south.
Okay.
Right? And different kinds of monuments, not only temples, different kinds of monuments. It could be gurudwaras, could be step wells, those kind of things.
So what all did you do for the G20?
So we ended up doing the Brihadishwara temple.
Wow.
Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
We started work from there with the blessings. Then we moved to the Golden Temple in Amritsar. We did a live shoot there.
Wow. And you captured it completely?
Completely, except the interiors. They didn't give us the permission. And same with Brihadishwara. We didn't get the interior permissions. But the rest of it is all captured, including the frescoes and all of that.
Wow.
Right? Golden Temple. Then Rani Ki Vav, which is a step well in Gujarat.
Gujarat, yeah.
Right? We did that. And then...
Isn't that a heritage site?
It is a heritage site. So... and the old Mahabalipuram, the Shore Temple and all that.
Okay.
Right? So all those got documented, got presented, gave a storyline, and we created these walkthroughs.
And the storyline also was the time travel for all these
No.
Monuments?
For none of them, it was time travel.
Okay, it
Because
was as
we
is.
had weeks of time and not months of time.
Okay.
And we were mindful that G20 was nearby.
Hmm.
Delivery was more important than the kind of a thing.
Obviously.
But we, as a part of that same project, based on the savings that we had, I proposed to the IKS division personnel that we'll do Sharda Peeth for you.
Wow.
Okay, and that's how Sharda Peeth happened as a part of that project itself.
Okay,
and
so
that was the time travel.
You started with Chidambaram.
Yeah.
Chidambar, Nataraja of Chidambar. And your first government syndicated project was Brihadishwara.
And then we moved up north, west, south again, Shore Temple, and now we are looking at Kashmir.
Okay. Now, you proposed to the IKS division saying that we're going to recreate Sharda Peeth. That must have been a calling, Ajit.
Absolutely, it was a calling. Again, one of those mornings that I wake up and something tells me that, Ajit, do this.
Okay.
That's it.
So it's something like Ramanujam. You wake up and say the theory is in my head.
Something like that, and I pay heed to these. I listen to these very, very actively, very consciously.
Okay, so do you remember the day you woke up and said Sharda Peeth?
No, I don't remember the date and all that.
Okay, but do you remember that day? Do you remember that experience when you woke up?
Oh, absolutely.
Something?
Absolutely.
So what was that?
I usually wake up early, around 5:30, 6 types. And then I just sit for some time and then actually wake up.
Okay. Like all of us.
And then once I wake up, so I observe a very clear diet at home. So in the morning, I have water with dalchini. I don't have tea, coffee at all.
Okay.
Water with dalchini in the morning. So I was sipping that water. And when something inside me told me that Sharda Peeth.
Wow.
Okay. And that's when I dug in. I kind of opened the mobile and I said, okay, Sharda Peeth. And I was like, oh my God, this is a ruin.
Right? It is. Yeah.
And we'd done a small little prototype for my TEDx talk, which involved Sharda Peeth. So we had a fair bit of a 3D model already in place. Okay. So keeping all that in mind and my the pet passion of doing time travel experiences, I wanted G20 dignitaries to get a time travel experience.
And you proposed Sharda Peeth?
I proposed Sharda Peeth and I had no clue how I'll do it.
Okay,
I had no clue
how I'll do it. So it was truly an inspired...
I was respecting the waves from above. So I told him we'll do it. I said, Ajit ji, great, let's do it.
And who was this? Who said Ajit ji, great?
He's the IKS convener.
Okay.
His name is Ganti Murthy ji. Okay, so yeah, our first client and ever grateful to him. So once that happened, I reached out to a lot of people. I needed the knowledge part.
Right? Oh yes, and that is where that's the source of our knowledge, Sharda Peeth.
Correct. So a couple of books were there, a couple of travel logs that we got into, and we took around probably 2.5 months or 3 months, let's say, to build this.
Okay, what was your source material?
Source material was a couple of books and a couple of travel logs.
Okay, now I am very curious. Which books, which travel logs?
I'll give them as a reference.
Okay.
I'll give them as a reference. I don't remember them out of... it was something about Sharda Peeth. Solid book, man, with a lot of visual clues.
And when was this going back to? When was this documented? As in the travel logs. When what?
These
century?
were all Hoen Sang's travel logs when he traveled down. See, Sharda Peeth is a university that predates Nalanda and Takshashila.
And Takshashila, yes.
Okay, and that was where the cream of the world wanted to get in.
Yes.
Okay. And later on, when I interacted with a lot of Kashmiri Pandits, they told me stories that, at the entrance doors, there would be 2 or 3 people interviewing the students, whether they even deserve to get into the, whether they can cross the entrance, right?
No, not get admission, but even
enter.
Wow.
Take the first step inside, right? So there were 2 or 3 people per gate that would do all of these.
You had to be intellectually capable to even be in the premises.
Wow. Right? So these are nuggets that I got much later on, right? So when we relied on these travel logs, when we relied on that book which talked about the visual depiction, so we did that. We did a fair bit of 3D modeling, to and fro, daily reviews, late nights, right? And then I reached out to a couple of temple architects.
Okay.
Right. His name is Mr. Kongala.
Okay.
He
from Andhra.
He kind of would review and he would suggest, Ajit, do it like this, do it like that. This is what it is, etc., etc. And we based it on Martanda as a similar architecture.
Okay.
Right. Sun Temple. Yeah. Martanda. So we finally released it.
How intact is the
Ramakrishna
Martanda temple
Kongala
today?
Is his name. Sorry, Ramakrishna Kongala.
Okay. Yeah. How intact is the Martanda temple itself?
Martanda temple is, I would say, far more intact than anything else in Kashmir.
Okay.
Yeah, but again,
that is not saying much.
Yeah, it's in ruins.
Okay.
By the way, Sharda Pita, I heard, is now a coffee place.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard this. I got some news items. There are some news articles and all. We'll never know whether these are true or false. But yeah, that's the way it is.
Oh, that's a travesty.
That's how Sharda Temple, the entire thing happened. So we looked at Skanda Purana, Skanda Mahatmya. We had to create the Sharda deity. Correct? So the Sharda deity, we researched on that. So I got an artist who was into temple scriptures depictions and all that. Yeah, he is from Bangalore. He drew it for us based on researching Puranas and all that. So we ended up creating a Sharda deity statue, 3-headed.
Okay,
so it is a combination of Sharda, Vak and Saraswati, all in one form.
Sharda, Vak and Saraswati.
All in one form, right?
Okay. And it starts with Vak?
Yeah. Okay. And it goes, so 3-headed.
Yes.
Right? And we created that library with a whole lot of manuscripts and all of that kind of stuff.
Apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, I've not done too much research into it, but casual reading. The Sharda Peeth originally, the deity resided in a library.
In the library, exactly. So that's what we recreated.
Oh, fantastic.
So we created the library, the main shrine, and inside that we placed the deity. Wow. Okay, so as soon as you enter, there's a compound, fountains running. I don't know how, but fountains were running.
Okay, I'm not too surprised by that because you're in the Himalayas.
Yeah. I mean, these are fountains inside the premises.
Correct. You can take any stream, pressurize it from within. Yeah.
Great. You're the ISC guy. You should know better. So once we enter the shrine, we show the deity first, and then we take you up to the library. Okay, which is there, and you can look at the deity from various angles.
So this is all recreated, and so you're actually telling me that we can visit the Sharda Peeth virtually today?
Absolutely. In fact, we put an exhibition at the IFFI 2024 International Film Festival of India in Goa.
Okay.
Somebody invited us, why don't you put this in? So we put it in, and people predictably came there. Surprise visitor came there, and he had heard that somebody is showing Sharda here. He wanted to see. So I put it on out him. He happens to be a Jammu and Kashmir Administrative Services officer.
Okay.
He is a Pandit himself, Kashmiri Pandit. He absolutely loved this. He gave us a testimony, and he said this should be in every state and every nook and corner of India.
It should. It should. Yeah. And where can people experience this?
So this, we have set up an experience center in Kerala.
Okay.
And we are setting up one in Bangalore too.
Okay. When is the Bangalore experience center coming up?
Hopefully sometime this year. See, I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk, and he's as good as, he's as good with deadlines as me.
Okay. So I didn't know it was going here.
So I'm looking at year end, so let's see. Looking out, I'm open to a lot of these like-minded investors.
Okay.
Dharmic investors.
Okay.
Who understand and share this value and.
This is far more than a commercial venture. This is
is a mission. This is I mean, I call it a mission. People call it a calling, whatever it is. But it's more than just a company. So the way I tell people is, while I'm setting up the startup now and it'll have a company breeding and all of that, the legacy has to continue beyond me.
Right? So you're already planning the legacy, you're structuring it that way?
No, not that way, but I just have the contours ready because, I mean, this from the beginning it has been beyond me. Every decision has been done by, the Supreme. Sharda Pitha or whatever it is,
But I still can't get away from this. I need to. So you said there is already an experience center in Kerala. Where in Kerala can?
So it's in a place called Vagaman.
Okay.
It's near Kochi. It's 2-3 hours drive from there.
Okay.
It's a KFDC, Kerala Forest Development Corporation precinct, where they floated a tender where they wanted a VR experience center. We won the tender. That's how the experience center happened.
Fantastic. So you have an experience center. And what can people see if they go to Vagaman today?
So they see a lot of tourism experiences from across the world in 360 videos and some of our heritage works also.
Okay. And what heritage works do they see? They see Sharda Peeth?
They see the same thing that I listed you.
Okay.
Yeah, listed to you.
Oh, fantastic. And all the everything that you did for the G20?
G20 also.
Fantastic. So in your library, what monuments have you actually recreated and what's on the table right now?
So there's one more that we've recreated, which is the Dholavira site.
The IVC
site.
Oh, sorry, IVC site.
IVC site. So I call it Sindhu Saraswati civilization. It's easier that way.
That's the best way to call it.
Right?
Yeah.
So Dholavira also, we worked with Professor R.S. Bisht, who was the chief excavator of Dholavira in 80s.
Are you serious?
Yes. So we worked with him. We took his review on a regular basis.
Okay.
So he would tell us things like, "नहीं वो triangle नहीं है, वो square है, उसको square बनाओ." Right?
Okay.
So those kind of things. Yeah, उसको square है, वो triangle. Some aesthetics kind of.
Okay. So just for the audience to understand, Dholavira is an active excavation.
Dholavira is an active excavation site, and it is one of the 2 sites of the Sindhu Saraswati civilization that has seen all stages of evolution. All the 7 stages of the civilization are present and documentable in Dholavira.
So Dholavira is a continually habited place,
site, yeah,
or site through the 7 stages of IVC's progression.
Yes.
And is it the only one as of now that we know of?
It's the only one as of now that we know of, but I'm sure that's going to change with Rakhi Gadi and all of these excavations.
But Rakhi Gadi, I hear, is a later...
It's a much later thing. See, there's one more site which is in Pakistan that is across the 7 stages.
So it's an active excavation, and then you have gone ahead and created a 3D...
Yeah, so we went to Dholavira. Again, we took permissions.
Okay.
We shot Dholavira. So we used 3D scanners, Shashank. So these are LiDAR 3D scanners.
Okay.
And we fit them on drones or we use them terrestrially. It is able to, cover a lot of land area.
Okay.
And these are technically called point clouds. So the data that we get is the 3D model data, the raw data, which is in terabytes of the entire site.
Wow. I can imagine, because the detailing you go through, and you said 1 millimeter accuracy.
1 millimeter accuracy, right?
So the data is huge.
Yeah, and by the way, this is all flat layout, right? I mean, these are like, just probably 2 or 3 feet of
excavations. Projections on top of the ground level.
So we did that, right? And we take that as the raw data, again, put that into the game engine. Now, the deal was for us to create the entire 7 stages of the civilization. Okay, so you're time traveling there. That's your... Time traveling there. Yeah. Right? So we created a map first. Past, present.
Okay. Past, present in the stages of evolution, or past, present as in now to then?
Now to then.
Oh, fantastic.
Now to then, and then simulate all the 7 stages.
Okay.
Right? So we show the area where the largest...
your entry gate is that?
The entry gate.
Yeah.
That gate, we show that very particularly, right? Now, what we did was we created the present also.
Okay,
where people see just the ruins and, dusty land and, nothing else.
Basically the excavation.
Right? Now, to appreciate what this land was in the past, we kind of transform that into the marketplace or the houses of the past.
So a lived city.
Lived city. We created characters who are like selling some produce, pottery and stuff like that. And at the same time, create these houses. Again, all of these were reviewed by the professor.
Okay.
And he said, "Aise aise banao." Bisht. Right? "Aise aise banao." These are the kind of huts that were there. So he'd given some photos from his books and all that.
Okay.
We complied with all of it.
So this is as close to a real experience as possible in today's time.
In today's time. So, for example, the
Fantastic.
houses outside would have some flame,
Yes.
right? So that flame, we kind of created it. So we create a sundown kind of an environment,
Okay.
lighting wise.
Aesthetically, you're
Aesthetically,
moving
you're
at
creating
dusk.
a dusk
Yeah.
kind of a scenario, so that the experience can be had. Then we have a simulation of the water conservation. So we take you to a pond or a reservoir there, show you how the water was conserved, how is that flowing through the city. You get to see all these things.
Fantastic.
Right? So that's the kind of work that we do, and there's so much more to do, man. There's lots to do here.
So what's on your list? What projects are pending right now?
So right now a lot of projects are pending, and pending is it's an extremely bad word in my world. But
okay,
that's how it is. Northeast, Shashank,
is unexplored.
It's absolutely unexplored, and there are just so many treasures there. See, one of them is Unnakoti. I don't know if you've heard of Unnakoti. It's in Tripura.
Okay.
It's
called
place.
Unnakoti.
Unnakoti. Okay. So it's 1 crore minus 1. Basically, there are thousands of giant figures carved on mountains.
Okay.
Giant figures. It's a chain of mountains.
Okay.
Where you see giant figures of, let's say Arjuna, Bhima, Buddha, whatever it is.
And
right?
how
some scenes.
What is the expanse of this?
I mean, it's spread across hectares.
Wow.
Across acres. So it'll take multiple days for you to cover it. So those are the kind of sites that we really want to capture. We want to bring that to the tourism foray.
Okay.
Right? I mean, gone are the days when we didn't have access to Northeast. Now we do, right? Stable.
Very stable as of now.
Right now, even they are giving a push of Northeast in terms of tourism and stuff like that.
You mean the government of India?
The government of India, the government of Tripura, Sikkim, Mizoram, wherever you go, right? There is a push for them to become economically viable.
Yeah, and tourism is the fastest way to get there.
Yeah, and they've got airports coming up there, so no problem there. So we want to do that with the respective governments there. So Northeast is a huge focus area, right? Apart from that, states like Madhya Pradesh, and how can I forget Uttar Pradesh?
Well,
right.
What's your experience in Uttar Pradesh as of now? Do you have something in mind, or have you done anything already in Uttar Pradesh?
So we have something in mind. We haven't done as yet.
Okay.
This is obviously for Ayodhya.
Okay.
And 3 other kshetras there: Mathura, Varanasi, Prayagraj.
Mathura, Varanasi, and Prayagraj. Wow.
Okay, because each of them have some deep stories, solid heritage stuff there. Time travel will be a rock show kind of a thing in those environments, right? I mean, people want to feel as though they are walking, or they are doing some, stone layering with Sri Ram or with Hanuman or Nal and Neel and all that. So possibilities of creations, right?
Okay, Ajit, if there was any other guest, I wouldn't have delved into this. What you just said hit a chord with me, and I want to tell you. So I took my car and I decided to go to the Mahakumbh.
Wow.
I headed out. I visited many Jyotirlings on the way, and because I didn't want to land there on the Mauni Amavasya, or rather the Basant Panchami, because the Mauni Amavasya had just happened.
Right.
And I was in touch with a Naga Sadhu.
Wow.
The Babaji called me and said, "Beta Basant Panchami mein mat aao. Uske baad mein aao." So I had to change my route, added 3 Jyotirlingas, so that I will reach after Basant Panchami.
Shucks.
So while going along this way, it was really blessed journey. I took on the Bundelkhand Expressway.
Oh, okay.
The Bundelkhand Expressway was beautiful. And I landed in Chitrakoot. Bundelkhand Expressway goes out in Chitrakoot. I mean, just puts you in Chitrakoot.
Okay.
There was a traffic jam in Chitrakoot for about 12 hours.
Right.
My mind went back. When Rama was exiled, the whole of the kingdom came to Chitrakoot. And it is described in the Mahabharata that people could not move. There were so many people. And suddenly it hit me
that you are
experiencing. So many years later, I am in Chitrakoot and I'm in a traffic jam.
Shucks.
So when you told me people really want to go back in time, It's a very personal experience that you're describing to me.
Wow, man. Wow. And I think for millions, it'll be like this. That's my hunch.
Oh, you need to do this. And if I may just indulge you, I do not know how the permissions, the funding and all that works out. But Sarnath, the intersection of the Uttar Path and the Dakshin Path.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Sarnath is one thing you will have to recreate.
Absolutely. Sarnath is something that we have, we really, really want to do. Sarnath, we want to do Ujjain, for example, the meridian, right? The timeline meridian and all.
Oh, by the way, that used to be the prime meridian.
That used to be the prime meridian. Yeah. So what we call as GMT now used to be Ujjain back then.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of Arabic mathematicians have used the time of Ujjain,
yes,
to work on their astronomy, right?
Correct.
Whatever. So,
by the way, it was started in Arabia by Surya Siddhanta.
Correct.
When Surya Siddhanta went to Arabia, that's when
they, algorithm and all that happened, algebra happened, all of that, right? But yeah, I mean, the Western scientists will think otherwise. So
that's neither here nor there. Let them be.
I know. So coming back to Uttar Pradesh, we believe it's a huge market. Ayodhya, when it started, the footfall beat that of Vatican.
Of course.
Right? And it continues to beat. But I think there's a lot of stories to be told in UP because, see, UP bore the brunt of the innovation. Let's understand that first, right?
It did. So there is a lot of recreation that is required.
Very much so. And see, I've traveled to Sambhal also.
Wow.
So I've met the officials there. They want some stuff created over there, time travels again, right? And so they took me through various sites there.
Okay, so just for the audience, so when you mean time travel, you're actually taking people to the glory days of the sites.
Correct.
As they were. Correct. Just like in Dholavira, where you have recreated Dholavira in a 3D environment through a VR experience.
Exactly.
So you're walking through a living Dholavira.
Yes.
The same thing you want to do with the sites that you're looking at. Say, for example, as Sarnath.
Correct.
We want to go into the university there as a living university.
Absolutely. That is the exact power of this visual medium.
Now it makes sense. WhoVR.
Yeah.
The name of the company.
Right.
WhoVR.
Absolutely. Who we are and where we come from.
Now, I'm not willing to believe that there is no story behind the naming of the company. How did you get to WhoVR?